What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And guess what, Cancer? It is your weekly spread. I gotta figure out something like, I think I'm gonna have to get like confetti or something. I'm still working on that, Cancer, because I was like, that weekly spread could be bigger, but nature my problem. But with this weekly spread, Cancer, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the shenanigans with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. And these gems, feeling wonderful. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. So Cancer, with this spread, I'm going to pull a few cards from this Oracle deck, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case you all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Cancer. Oh, look at you, Cancer, hopping in your new car. I love it. You got the 7th card of Geminis here, which is the convertible card. And with this card, this is a card of many options, free will, adjacent possibilities, choices, flexible, adaptable, potential, change, freedom, enjoyment, two-faced, going with the wind, alternatives, and preferences. And you know, Cancer, I mean, if this is something where we're looking for, maybe if we're feeling kind of like stuck in a rut or feel like that we want more out of life, you know, there are so many options, so many opportunities, and I don't even mean ones that are presented to us. I mean, even stuff that we can create ourselves, Cancer, whether this be in, you know, looking for work, you know, looking for a hobby, a side gig, whatever. We are in a very innovative type of energy right now. Creativity, manifestation is through the roof. And so if we're at a place where we're, you know, just kind of weighing all these options, maybe we're just like, oh, where do I even start? It's just like, which one has potential for you? But even more than that, it's just like, what resonates with you? You know what, when it comes to these choices, you don't got to think that hard, Cancer. You know, with us being I have a son, my son's in Cancer. With us being able to being in tune with our energies the way we are, just when we're thinking about these options, make a list, see which one resonates, and let's follow that. And you know what, Cancer, enjoy the growth and the freedom of that choice, you know, because this is, you know, where it can feel like just a lot of things that can just like happen to us. It's nice when we kind of when we tune in and kind of, you know, really sync up with the energies. We can kind of change the narrative where, sure, there are certain things that are just out of our control, but there is a level of, you know, there can be a level of control in this thing as well. We just have to listen to that, make that connection with higher self. Because even when you think about Gemini energy, they're the twins, and it's like, think about, you know, when you make that bond between, because your higher self is basically your twin, or however we connect with the source, spirit guides, whatever that's looking like, Cancer. But yeah, just when you're thinking about these choices and these potentials and things, just whatever resonates with you, Cancer, and just go where the crow flies, go with the wind. But we are also, Cancer, just thinking with this energy too, we are in a time where you want to be flexible, be adaptable, pay attention to the opportunities if we're thinking about this stuff, because there's going to be a lot of changes that are going to be happening. I mean, we've been through mad changes. I mean, since 2018 with Uranus going down, and Uranus will be entering Gemini in 2025, but with Pluto doing some shenanigans in the mix now, I feel like Uranus is definitely like, ooh, I got a couple more years to really he's got a good partner right now to do some extra work. So we are in a time, Cancer, where things are getting ready to open up. We're going to enter a new era. We're almost like the era of the air signs. So it's just like, you know, with Pluto getting ready to move into Aquarius, and starting next year. So be thinking about this stuff, Cancer. Where do we, what's our potential? Your own personal potential. What do you want to grow? And then what does that look like? And, as you're going through this stuff, Cancer, there are going to be times where because, you set this trajectory, but sometimes how we might get there, it's going to be, road might be all over the place. So just be adaptable in this energy, Cancer. But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. Absolutely. I love that. Hold on. We got 9 of Pentacles here. And the 2 of Cups. A lot of Venus energy here, Cancer. I like that. So you got the 9 of Pentacles in reverse here, but then we got the 2 of Cups upright. And Cancer, if we're at this place, like I was saying, if we're not sure what areas that we want to work on, where we want to improve, what options are out there, because this could even be like options maybe for like some hobbies or things, or some like maybe we're thinking about a different way of working out, or improving the body, whatever that's looking like, Cancer. If we're not sure where we want to focus on or anything along those lines, then 2 of Cups, ask yourself, because the 2 of Cups for me, after the Lovers, this is a really strong connection, or at least one of these cards could be a strong connection of like connecting with higher self and really doing that internal, that nurturing within, Cancer. Because, in order to help fill others' cups, we got to fill our own cups here first. There's in like the Thoth deck, I love that 2 of Cups, because it's like it'll have this center cup here that's spilling into the next 2 cups. But it all starts from here, Cancer. And so be thinking about this. What ways do you want to raise your vibrations? Do you want to nurture your soul? Do we want to work towards our Empress energy? This is Mercury in Virgo, this 9 of Pentacles. And it's getting, when you think of Virgo energy, theirs is about that like day-to-day job, that routine, and focusing on very health conscious as well. But it's getting, more so when we think of 9 of Pentacles, it's like getting in that routine of an Empress. What does that look like? How do we get our abundance? Where do we feel secure? If we're thinking about relationships, like it encompasses a whole lot of energy here, Cancer. And like I was saying, there's a whole lot of options. But the nice thing is, it's nice to have those choices and not to be overwhelmed by this stuff. Really, when we listen to our internal guidance system, it really can help just kind of, put away all the noise. Because Cancer, I feel like there's a difference too, when we think about all these options. I feel like we can get in this place where it's like we know what others expect for us to maybe do, or what we've done in the past, and what you actually want to do, Cancer. And that's where I feel like we want to focus on that side of it and find how we can take that potential, maybe turn it into a business, or if we're not even going to that extreme, but just something to think about, Cancer. This is can nobody decide where this convertible is driving other than you? All right, Cancer. I like that. Strong little start there. That's how you Empress. Let's get another oracle on this. And how appropriate, too, all this Venus energy. Venus is in our sign right now, Cancer. We'll be there through the 5th of June. So be thinking about that. What ways can we feel more abundant? I like that. And then let's protect that, Cancer. I dig it. You got the 9th card of Aries here, which is the Shield card. And with this card, this is a card of defensive, protect, support, safeguard, block, guardian, stand up for, being prepared, heroic, stronghold, security, ward off unwanted energies, be on guard, and withstand. And you know what, Cancer? Just thinking with this, just thinking with that kind of like ward off unwanted energies, if we've been feeling in a place where we feel like haven't been a lot of options for us, if it seems like you're just kind of stuck in a rut and there has been no kind of growth, then I feel like, again, that's definitely, let's pause for a second. Do we have any kind of things that are holding us back, any kind of unwanted energies that are clinging to us, whether this be, however that may be applying for you. But in order to get to that status, get to that place of your highest vibration, we have to figure out what areas in our lives could use a little nurturing, a little self-care, a little, things along those lines, and then get to work, get that stuff cooking up there, because that's the only way. Not the only way, but that's a good way to get closer to again, from this vibration right now to our Empress energy. But just something to think about. We really are in a cycle of reflections, especially when Pluto moves back into Capricorn. That's going to be because he's already retrograde. This is asking ourselves, what does success look like for you? How do we, what does that level up? All that stuff, Cancer. And you know what? While we're going on this growth as well, just make sure that we're protecting our energies as well. And I don't say and not to say that you're in any kind of danger or anything here, Cancer, but just be mindful of any kind of influences that are around us. The people, and just taking moments, Cancer, just because again you're a water sign, you're considered the most emotional sign of the zodiac, and so we can take on all that energies, and we sometimes we have to make sure that we're cleansing that stuff, because sometimes the things that you might be feeling, Cancer, is things that you might have picked up at work, maybe while you're on your commute, maybe while you're at the store, you know what I mean. So just in between, this might be something if you happen to do maybe some crystal work. I usually take some bracelets with me every now and again, just something to keep, keep your energy safeguarded, Cancer, and however that looks like for you. Maybe when you get back, you're lighting some incense. But one last thing, and then we'll get some tarot on this, just because we're talking about, the stronghold, security, and how we're talking about those options. What better ways, again, if we're not sure where we want to focus on, maybe if we're just overwhelmed with options, then because we just see the potential in everything, it's just like let's start a list, and where are you feeling, where aren't you feeling secure, and what makes sense to start up. If we can be really Virgo, that's Virgo at work. Let's be methodical about this. Okay, let's break this down. Let's put it in categories. I got this stuff, this stuff, this stuff. That was brilliant. That's how you Nine of Pentacles. And then when we start doing this stuff, Cancer, tackling stuff, being ruled by the moon, maybe make it an intention every lunar cycle, work on something new, build up that stronghold, because talk about being prepared. I love this. This card is a lot of energy coming through here, because even with being prepared, really, we are in the energies they've been really abundant, but it's going to be one of those things that we have to get that abundance set up there, especially Jupiter being in Taurus, and that's forming like a sextile with your Cancer placements, Cancer. So a lot going on here, but let's narrow that. See all these options, but let's get some tarot on this. Let's see what we got here, Cancer. I dig it. You got the Queen of Swords here, and then we got the Page of Swords. And so, Cancer, I feel that when I was talking about as far as if we're kind of stuck between a bunch of options here, the Page of Swords, if it's been like an overactive mind, if you've just been seeing, just potential all over the place, but we're not sure where we want to commit. It could be something too, because this is Libra's card, the Queen of Swords. She rules the first two decans of Libra, last of Virgos. This could be something where, if we're not sure, maybe maybe we've tried the list, and then maybe we're still having a little bit of doubts there. Queen of Swords, Libra, they deal with relationships. So maybe this is something where we talk with someone about these ideas, maybe get a second opinion, get a sounding board, anything along those lines. But I do feel like that this is something where, with the Page of Swords, don't keep those ideas just cooking up there, or keep those sitting on those ideas. And here's the thing too, Cancer, with all these ideas, even if there are some that, because especially with us, being in Gemini season, Mercury's going to be moving into Gemini, depending on when you're watching this, on the 11th of June, we're going to be in a very the mind is going to be kind of cranky. It might be feeling a little anxiety with all of the decisions and things, but this is brilliant. And you know what? While this is going on, like I'll say, now I'm getting all over the place. Let's write this stuff down, these ideas down, because who knows, Cancer, just with everything that's going on, we're in a great time of collaboration as well. So if like an idea doesn't resonate with you, I've been saying you just even keep a notebook on hand, because who knows, maybe while you're having this conversation with this Queen of Swords, you talk about one of your other ideas. It's just like, you know what? I actually have a background in such and such and such, and then look at that. There's something beautiful that's bonded up here. But just also thinking with this energy, Cancer, with the Queen of Swords, just how I was talking about with others, where we were talking about the potential of things, and maybe if others are like saying that these opinions aren't the wisest, or something, if people have maybe some thoughts about maybe what you're doing, Cancer, I feel like it's one of those things, like if it's constructive, absolutely, that's something to think about. But if we're at this place where it's just like, we're just, oh, Cancer, that's not a good idea, just shooting down this stuff without providing anything. It's like how I tell you at the beginning, take what resonates with you and leave the rest with them, keep that stuff, you can be kind, keep it in orbit, but just something to think about there as well, Cancer. But this seems like if we get too much in our heads, just kind of with how, even just explaining that, it's like almost like the gears, like as I was talking, it's just like, ooh, we're really, might be thinking a lot here, Cancer. Pause for a second, because listen, I have a Gemini moon, and I'm constantly thinking about my feelings. And I'll tell you what, journaling might be a real, might help you out, Cancer, at least during this time. It doesn't have to be anything extensive, Cancer, just as the spirit moves you. But just to kind of help you maybe process through this stuff here. Maybe see again how we feel. Are we seeing any common themes while we're writing this stuff? That was like one of the biggest things I feel like with journaling helps, is that while you go throughout the process, it's just like you'll start noticing some stuff. They're not just staying in your head cycling all the time. It's just like, oh, this is a thing. Or maybe like, oh, like the higher self wants me to maybe try this thing out. I keep seeing this thing coming up. Just some things to pay attention to, Cancer. Let's see what else we got here, Cancer. Absolutely, 9 of Cups all day. Oh, Cancer, I'm dropping cards. Okay, last 2 on this one, Cancer. You got the 5 of Swords in reverse here, and then you got the Knight of Cups upright. And so, Cancer, I feel like that when we're thinking about these possibilities, these options, things along those lines, the 5 of Swords, I will say, one, let's try not to get into this place of comparing ourselves to others, and I mean just in general, because it gets us to a place where, all of our journeys are different. We all go about this, but we all go about, our journeys all look different, but we're all trying to get to that same space, our highest vibration, because you got another Venus card here. Here's Venus in Aquarius. And I feel like we're in a place where it's not about competition. It's more so about, it's how can we make this mutually beneficial? While I'm raising my vibration, you're raising yours, and then we can meet in the middle, and we can still do what we love, and still raise that, jointly, just raise that vibration through the roof. I feel like that's the energy that we're getting to. It's not more so about where, I get where it's like, competition being the best and things. I'm all about friendly competition, but it's just like it's just different, and I hope that makes sense. But I'm also feeling with this, Cancer, that with these options here, if we're feeling overwhelmed with stuff, or we're not sure, if we're at like conflict with ourselves, no matter, seems like whatever ideas or opinions we get, we just seem to end back at square one. Cancer, I feel like really try not to overthink this. Trust your intuition. Listen to your heart and see where that guides you. Knight of Cups, first 2 Deacons of Scorpio, last of Libras, and so follow your heart. Do that deep dive. What do you really want to do? And then what will really find you balance, find you harmony, and then let's go out there and get this thing. But I'm also kind of getting to here too, because you got the Knight of Cups, 2 of Cups, and that's getting kind of, and even like 5 of Swords is getting into like romantic realms. I will say, if we just got out of a relationship, maybe, and there was something where, I'm not sure, maybe we got in an argument or something, and maybe we're at this place where if we get to a place where we kind of generalize Cancer, because I was kind of saying this for, I did your, one of your other readings earlier, but for the other channel, but if we got in a place where, yeah, we were in some kind of argument or something there was some kind of dissonance here, with this relationship, we just want to be careful about just like generalizing as far as saying like, maybe like all people are like cheaters or all of them are liars. It's just like where it's less about the person and more about the fact that like, hey, what you did wasn't ideal. You were great, but coming in, you came in on your white horse looking all brilliant, but then your actions were a little, that was a low vibration, didn't quite care for that. So just I just feel that when we're thinking about love in the future, just being mindful of that, just something that just kind of popped in my head there, Cancer. But I also feel that, if we did just get out of something and, we're feeling a little defensive or, maybe not quite feeling ready, Cancer, this is a great time to focus on you right now. Get yourself back in balance. Get yourself feeling good. Get yourself feeling, feeling harmonious again. And then while we're focusing on ourselves, Cancer, that's when new love starts coming in. And then Knight of Cups starts coming correct and, it starts matching that vibration. So a lot going on here, Cancer, but yeah, I hope that makes sense. Alrighty. Let's get your last card here. Nice. All right, Cancer. Last card here. You got the 7th card of Libras, which is the biker card. And with this card, this is a card of lone wolf style, impervious, nonconformist, standing up, breaking rules, brotherhood, enjoy the ride, loves freedom, moving on, outlaw, maverick, swift actions, and need for speed. And you know what, just since we were just coming off that relationship thing, and that's basically what I was talking about here, Cancer, this might be a great time if we've just got out of a relationship or maybe we've been looking for love and it just hasn't quite been hitting, then let's go be a lone wolf for a little bit, maybe go out for a ride, just kind of kick it solo for a while, really focus on just again, raising your vibrations through the roof. And then I find like when you do, you start doing some things that you love, you start feeling free, that's the energies that you're attracting. And then, makes space for, new Knight of Cups to come in, maybe a Queen of Swords type, maybe even a Page of Swords, however that might be looking like for you, Cancer. But just something to, just a thought there for you. But another thing, Cancer, with about all these options and things and so many opportunities, this is a great energy right now, for like the next 20 years, especially, we already got the flavor of Pluto in Aquarius, so we might as well just go ahead and jump on this thing now to start thinking like a nonconformist, doing some unconventional things, really breaking the rules as far as like, do you want to, have you had this dream of starting up a business? Let's do it. Do you want to start up like a new hobby? Do we want to start up like a community group? If you just want to, whatever that's looking like, the traditional ways of doing things we're coming to a close of an era, where the rules are adapting, it's all changing. So we want to be an outlaw, Cancer, be a maverick, kind of go against the grain there. And I bet you, you work on this stuff here, kind of being in that innovative space, it's really going to pay off there for you, Cancer, in the long run. Aquarius energy all day. But let's get some tarot on this. Let's see what we got here, Cancer. Nice. You got the 4 of Pentacles here upright. And so, Cancer, I feel like with this, if we're in a place where you've been feeling stuck or been feeling kind of locked down, or just it feels like that things just aren't, like that you feel like, again, that there aren't many options or many opportunities in life. It's just like, in what areas do we feel shackled in and feel kind of held back in, and how can we start working on that stuff? How can we start getting out of this place of feeling stuck, if that's something that's been resonating with you? How do we get free, really kind of enjoy this ride here, Cancer. But you know, just even talking, getting a few things with this, you know, just even thinking with this this shield card here with this Four of Pentacles, you know, just making sure we are, again, protecting our energies, you know, checking in with our reserves. And if we are in a place where maybe you've been under a lot of stress and haven't had a chance to really kind of maybe get away or, you know, just kind of be with your energy. I mean, you got the convertible and the biker card here. Maybe go on a road trip, you know, however that looks. Maybe we're going to just like the park, or maybe we're going to the beach, or going to in a forest, or whatever that's looking like, Cancer. Just something that so you can get your energy, you know, just make sure that just do like an internal audit, you know, like how am I doing, you know, is all the energies checked here, you know, how's where's the balance at? And I think that's it. I thought I was like, any more? Nope, that's it. All right, Cancer, last couple here. Okay, interesting. All right, so you got the Two of Wands and the Four of Wands in reverse here. You know what? Let's switch back over here, Cancer. Because with these cards, you know, I feel like that if we've been kind of like stuck at this, like, how do I want to put this? If we've been feeling like we're not sure, you know, what we want to, like, what really, again, like, what did this, it's like whatever this next thing is that you want to do. I feel like for some of us, it's like if you've had this idea or been wanting to just see something through, just to see what happens. I feel like the Two of Wands is saying, Cancer, you know, we have a decision. Is it resonating with you? Two of Cups. And if so, let's take action, because this is Mars in Aries, and that's, you know, that's one of that's Aries' like hottest card, because Mars, or hottest like minor card, because Mars rules over Aries, and you know Mars is about our action there, Cancer. And so, and look at that, more Venus energy. There's just even thinking with that too, Cancer. There's an energy here of, I feel like as well, that if we're not, there's almost like an emphasis here, just like with doing a lot of like self-love, I hear. Just honestly, with all this Venus energy that you got kind of cooking up here, the biker, the shield, you know, I feel like that maybe we're in this place where, even for some others, you know, maybe if we're like looking for love, possibly, because, you know, the Four of Wands can be like a card of marriage, you know, but this may not be the cycle. You know, that's not to say that love is not coming, Cancer. And if we're in a relationship that, you know, we might not get married down the line, but this might be a time more so of just like focusing on self-improvement. And here's the thing, Cancer, you can do that in a relationship. It's just having that communication, you know, vocalizing this stuff, you know, it's like, hey, I'm at this point on my journey, you know, again, do you mind if I'm thinking about doing that plan, you know, maybe when I get back, how are you feeling spiritually? You know, does this make sense? You know, do we need to break this up in chunks? But just, you know, Cancer, you know, this, yeah, I feel like maybe even with this Two of Wands, and maybe just for some of you, if we're thinking about, maybe we've been just kind of just going, you know, maybe kind of, I almost feel like it's like a pause for a second, really, and just kind of like check your energies, and just make sure that we're feeling that we're in a good place, just in general, you know, health-wise, relationship-wise, you know, whether that be familial, love, business, you know, all aspects of that, you know. And yeah, I think just something to think about there, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. I'm not gonna think, if I feel myself trying to force it there, so. Hopefully you got the little nuggets of wisdom out of that, Cancer. And yeah, if you found something, give it a thumbs up there, and share this. You know, if maybe you know someone who might be kind of stuck for options, or, you know, just maybe in need of just kind of needing to have a little more enjoyment in their life, or something along those lines. Share that with them, Cancer. And then subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I have these videos each week. And then something to think about while you're doing all this self-reflection and growth and things. I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group for dropping like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, maybe even talking about maybe this little journey of self-improvement and things, however that's looking, Cancer. And then definitely as it grows, definitely want to do like different meditations, with schedule different meditations for everyone to join and things. It's all cooking up there, Cancer. So all that information is in the description box. And then lastly, I don't know if you caught that earlier, Cancer, but I have a whole other channel specifically for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, since we're talking about all this Venus energy. Come on over to my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. So you got the Three of Cups here, upright. And Cancer, I feel like with this, I really feel like that this can be a really fun time for you to do just some celebrating, just really kind of focus on being in your energy, just doing you and hitting up friends, hitting up fun, what better, just really focus on all the ways that we can raise our vibration. Because when we do, Cancer, opportunities start coming up, all the options, our choices start, it's a whole beautiful thing here, Cancer, but I just really feel that if it's something that we're going to have to really do that, ask ourselves these questions, really do that internal check-in, because Mercury in Cancer is a very intuitive placement, for Mercury to be, considering how it's like almost like that connection of head and heart there, Cancer, because Mercury is how we think and process information, Cancerian energy, how we feel. So be thinking about that, Cancer. Make sure those energies are lined up there, that that our Two of Cups is in. And then that leads us to the celebration, Cancer. Opportunities start opening up, and let's see what we got here. And then look at that, you even get little trinkets along the way. He got the amulet card here. And I almost feel like with this amulet, it's like, you see how this just like, you got all this just like random stuff here, Cancer. And I feel like that this is what happens throughout life, especially for us when we're in just water signs, when we're going through like relationships, however that's looking, we just accumulate so much stuff. And I feel like that sometimes it's like checking in to find out what's actually yours and what stuff that you picked up along the way, and what stuff are we trying to hang on to. What space do we need to make for some newness, to get to the next cycle here, get to that completion there. So just some things to get some eyes on there, Cancer. So I think I'm gonna leave that there, and I hope that made sense. That was an interesting one, but you stay safe out there. Maybe going on your travels and just setting up boundaries and things. Just be safe out there, Cancer. But otherwise, you raise that vibration through the roof, because that's what this is pretty. I like this. This is your Empress energy is cooking up. I'm with it, and I will get you on the next one. Later.